All right, welcome back to K24 This Morning. As we always do every single Thursday, we like talking about relationships, and this one is a unique one. I absolutely love the couple here because they have a story to die for. Hizi ni zile zinakuanga kwa movies, but we're just about to get into the other side of finding love. It's not necessarily a rosy place, and because we know roses have thorns, we want to find out how thorny this situation, or rather this pathway, has been. Joining me again, once again, is Grace Kariuki. We have Anthony Mutweri, and of course, the lovely wife, Mweni Mutweri. Karibuni tena sana once again.
Thank you very much.
Grace, before we went on a break, we said, of course, some very fantastic things.
Yeah.
Is marriage always like this?
Well, it is important to understand, just like anything in life, that there reaches a point where things become familiar and we become more comfortable. So there is the excitement of the first getting to know you, and now I know you. There is nothing more exciting to find out. There were those times when we would talk until 3 in the morning. Now we are barely trying to find a minute that we can be able to keep a conversation going. So it is normal to be able to experience all this goodness, but in that, there are also the things that we don't tell people, which are normal in our relationships. And that's why we find couples who have conflict in their relationship, they immediately go into this mode of, oh, our marriage is ending. But conflict is usually a sign that your marriage is asking for growth.
Right.
It is an opportunity for growth.
Yes.
But if you see conflict as an opportunity to mean that we are not together, or that we are not agreeing as a bad thing, then you're going to see conflict in a negative way. But you can see conflict as a way of growing, of becoming true and becoming more authentic, but also of becoming one. So those people who tend to avoid conflict in a love relationship, they are living in a fantasy, and it's not reality.
Wow.
And those are the people, when you have conflict, they can't handle it. They say, oh, sasa unataka tuachane, haya basi. And they break up with you, and an hour later they are coming, babe, tafadhali nisamehe, you know. So we need to gain an understanding of what conflict in relationship is for, the value of it, and what purpose it serves.
Okay. Anthony, for you, after the 90 days, I'm assuming things got better after 90 days.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You said it took for you, 3 years to discover whether, this is going to work or if it's the perfect thing. What exactly did you see in these 3 years so that for you now you came and said, you know what, let's do this?
That is actually quite straightforward. In the 3 years, I actually was still testing whether she's still the one. I'd want to look out and see, are there any other beautiful girls, better character out there? I'd want to chit-chat with a few beautiful other ladies, and that's, not this one, maybe another one.
Right.
But after 3 years, I actually got to understand the value that she has put in me. When we met, I was clearing my 4th year in campus. So I just started my first internship, more or less, in a nice company around in Nairobi.
Yeah.
So you actually earn very little. So I was still staying with my parents. And the kind of respect that she gave me, even with this little, considering we were still in campus, and the 2,000 shillings that my dad used to send after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we used to survive very nicely with it.
Okay.
And she wasn't too demanding or too wanting. So I wanted to understand whether if I get more, will she now start to demand more?
Will she change?
Will she change from what I have known about her? And actually things where she was actually more supportive, more understanding. Do this for yourself, do this for yourself. And everybody out here was 20 out, 20 dinner. The whole essence was not me building myself. It was me using my money for us, for both of us to enjoy ourselves. But for her, it was different. I was actually sending her pocket money around 1,000 shillings, 2,000 shillings, and she was absolutely grateful. Out here, you give somebody 2,000 shillings, my friend.
We need to demand for more as the Kamba community. The Kamba community. Kwa kama watu wa Kiabu, kisha 50,000.
50,000.
Anyway, carry on.
So when we go out with these other ladies that I actually thought, they might be they might actually have a chance as well. You use 3,000, 4,000, but it's kawaida. This is kawaida to them.
Yeah.
So I actually found the value that this lady is actually not just trying to use me or gain the advantage of, she's trying to build me.
Right.
And that one had me smitten completely.
Where?
She is building me from absolutely nothing.
Right.
I was a poor guy, man. I was a poor guy. Hii barabara zinanijua sana.
Zinakutambua.
Zinanijua.
Uliza kiatu.
Uliza kiatu. They know me too well.
So,
Yes.
Okay, Mweni, in regard to what he has said, were you building him up because of the humility he talked about, the humble background that you come from, ukambani hakuna maji situation, or is it just who you are, or is it a decision you had made, or is it a classic case of any other man I would have treated the same way?
Yeah. Well, I think first of all, I'd like to thank my parents from the way they actually brought me up.
Right.
Because from me growing up, from standard 8, Form 1, Form 4, I've actually grown knowing that you have to work hard to get something. And there's a point where my mom used to provide for us, and I used to see how she used to struggle. So I was like, if she can struggle, I can struggle as well. So for me, getting that 1,000, I actually saw it as a boost because for me that was a lot of money at then.
Right.
So si ati because sikuanga nataka kumsumbua, nilikuwa nataka, but there at that time I was not thinking like namjenga. You see at that point akili haikuangi imehit unajenga huyu mtu, but maybe the future will tell. But for me, I actually thought it's a good thing for me to actually look for my own things without asking for from somebody else who's actually even struggling.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think from the way I have been brought up, mi najuanga tu mtu ni kungangana. Yeah, toil, work hard, get your own money, get something, and then from there you can be able to see how you're going to go forward.
Okay.
Yes, that's why even in campus, as much as we were being given pocket money by our parents, I actually used to do some side things.
Hustle,
I used to hustle because I never saw myself going hungry or looking for money elsewhere illegally or the other ways. Just to get something for myself. If I want to have this nice dress, I will work hard and get this nice dress for myself.
True.
Yes.
Okay.
So for that 2,000, I think for me it was a lot of money. It was a lot of. Hey, thaumbili was a lot of money.
Anyway, that's a story for another time. Gracie.
Yes.
Clearly she's a rare breed.
Yes.
And I say that because I've also been where Anthony has been. Tumekatia wasichana, they have disappointed us because, you know, at the end of the day, it's money.
True.
Money is really ruining the young guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we say that there is no romance without finance. Right?
Yes.
But money talks and money moves things, and so we don't want to say that there is anything wrong with wanting to have somebody who has some money. Because if you're going to take me for a date, money will dictate where you take me. So we want to see the value, the value of the money and the importance of being able to treat your woman well by providing something that is going to make her feel special. Women, one of the things that we need emotionally from our men is being cherished, feeling that I am special.
Absolutely.
And so where you take me for that lunch or for that dinner will say a lot, not about the expensiveness, but even the fact that it's a quiet place, it's a nice place, and the way you treat me is going to tell me how much you value me. Now, there is, we need to understand that just like we talked about languages of love, there is also money languages. So this lady has been raised to see money not as an end result, as it is a means to something. And that's the way she was treating him. That I'm not looking at you, this money that you're giving me or whatever, you don't have to, I don't have a mentality of entitlement. The other day we were here, we were talking about languages of love, and somebody called in and said, my boyfriend does not send me money
Yeah.
to
He
go
doesn't
and
take you to
make
the
my
salon.
hair. You know,
Yeah.
so, and I'm thinking, hello, you know. And then she made the mistake of comparing the money he sends to his parents and
Yeah.
the money he
And
gives.
the one he
And
spends
I
on
was just
her.
like, that is an entitlement. We don't
Yes.
want that. And we also don't want men to think that you meet a beautiful lady like herself and you immediately think she is going to be a money, you know,
Cash cow.
yeah, cash
M-Pesa.
cow. You know, she's looking for me, and so now I have to present this person that I am, and I am not. So I'm hiring my brother's car. I'm taking her these places, and then one day, you know,
do not have those
I don't
things.
have
Yes.
those things. So the upbringing and the way that we have been socialized about money is very important, because then you experience what you experience.
Yeah.
Respect.
Oh, yes.
Did you hear that? He
Yeah.
said,
Yes.
I felt respected.
I
Oh,
felt
yes.
it.
Yes, and the thing is, they say that women get education and they change, and men get money and they change. If somebody is changing because of those two things, they were not what you thought they were in the first place.
Very true.
Because if your authentic self is right, there is nothing that is going to change you. So what you are there because you didn't have.
Yeah.
So I was a humble guy because I only earned 5,000 shillings. I started earning 10, and you see my character changing, even as I begin to feel like I am the God's answer to women, and I'm treating them with disrespect, thinking my money is what they are looking for.
Yeah.
What does that signify, Buvi? It signifies a very low self-esteem and
Is that so?
a sense of low self-worth.
Wow.
Because you should be able to feel that you can make those boundaries and not be afraid that he's going to leave you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should be able to feel that I don't have anything, but this lady, I know she's going to stay with me.
Right.
Because I know who she, and I know who I am. And I'm comfortable with showing her my real self.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to put up anything to try to make up for what I think I lack.
Right.
So if I don't have money today, that doesn't mean in 10 years I
I
won't.
won't have.
But if I think that my value is low because I don't have money right now, then when I get money, I will think my value has gone up because I have money. And maybe you have a woman who doesn't care whether you have money or not.
Yeah.
Lakini mentality yako will create a relationship of conflict.
Yeah.
Because you are always, you are self-doubting.
Yes.
Because now today I have money, tomorrow I
Tomorrow I
don't.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony,
Yes.
you mentioned that she was in first year when you were in fourth year. Of course, ukamaliza, you entered into the job market.
Yeah.
And a lot of relationships here, but they usually start, becoming shaky because obviously you earn hata kama ni kakitu kadogo, but you earn money.
Yes.
So you want to control your income. Number two, you're exposed to an environment that has got other women, mature women, more beautiful women who can take care of themselves.
Yes.
They can dress better than your campus girlfriend. They drive probably
Yes.
cars that your campus girlfriend cannot. Maybe she doesn't even have a deal.
Doesn't even have a DL.
Yeah. So there's a different environment.
Oh, yes.
And you step out there and you're like, wow, sasa huyu mwenye
Eh.
tabidi ameteka back seat. How did you handle that situation?
And actually, that is part of our shaky story, because now you get into the job market, and I was earning, I think, 8,000 shillings. And
A
that
month?
was a lot of money.
Yes.
It was a lot of money, because I was staying with my parents. So my
Yeah.
dad is the old traditional Meru guy, where if you're my son or you're my child,
Yeah.
you won't buy anything for this house. I can manage.
Mtasort, mi ndio
So
mwanaume.
mi ndio
Mwanaume.
nasort, mi ndio mwanaume, wewe fanya mambo yako.
Yeah.
So the 8,000 shillings was, I sent 1,000 shillings, I sent 1,000 shillings to her.
Yeah.
That's 7,000 shillings. Now I'm left wondering, hey, what do people in Nairobi do with 7,000 shillings? And then you get mature women. They
Who have a
are-
vision.
They have a vision. You actually look at them and they have somewhere they want to be in a few years. They have a nice house somewhere in Embakasi. They're always inviting you, hey, you come. Now she's in Nakuru. Nairobi weather has not been very friendly.
Yeah.
That is now when your thoughts
No,
now
no,
start
sasa.
wondering.
Yes.
Yeah.
This girl, this small girl, does she even know what she wants to do in life?
Yeah.
I have this nice lady who knows in the next 10 years
Yeah.
she wants to be the marketing manager of this company, and she's straightforward working
She wants to
towards
build an
it.
empire.
She wants to build an empire. She looks like a good lady who would raise my children very well. Hey, So that was the tricky bit.
All right.
Because now you start
So ngoja.
drifting.
So wife alikuanga na or rather girlfriend your time.
Yes.
Ako Nax.
The girlfriend
Wewe
was in
uko
Nakuru.
Nairobi.
Yes.
Shukuru Mungu wako. Shukuru Mungu wako. Carry on.
So when things change in this front, now even communication now starts breaking down. Because you see now I am busy trying to impress these other ladies because I don't know, I am still weighing.
Yeah.
Is it them? Is it my old girlfriend who I don't know what she's doing in campus?
Yeah.
And this lady is always inviting me to her place. She wants us to chill. I've now started getting 7,000 shillings or 8,000 shillings somewhere. I can now afford a nice trouser that is not from somewhere, some downtown place. Where the big one, the one with the turn up.
Unaweza nunua ya duka.
Umeanza kununua trousers za duka. You're wearing nice shoes.
Yeah.
So now you're actually thinking, this chick is not for me though.
Yeah.
There are better ladies out here, some who have small cars, they've been working for a few years, and I don't know what it is about men with older women.
Yeah.
Because you get one that is 4 years, 5 years older, and she makes you crazy.
It's because she takes care of you like she's your mother. But
Yes, yes. You go to her place and she wants to cook. She wants even the clothes you came with. She wants to wash. You're like, hey, chill.
Relax.
I'm still planning to go home. Chill. So.
Yeah.
And that is where I think our rocky patch started because now communication breakdown was coming in now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. When he was away, when he was in Nairobi hustling 8,000. Yeah. So when he was getting peanuts, how was your situation back in Nax? Were you also going like, you know what, out of sight, out of mind?
Well, there were two things that actually determined my situation. Number one, the friends that I had.
Okay.
And number two, of course, communication. I'll talk about communication. You see, at that point, there's no communication. Because you see, for a relationship to actually go on, there has to be communication. So us guys were not communicating. And if you're communicating, we're actually fighting.
Yeah.
Ulikuwa wapi, ulienda na nani,
Mbona kushika
simu, ulikuwa unafanya nini?
Kwanza ya simu hiyo. Unaweza panda basi hadi Nakuru.
Yes, so I think one of my, she talked about love languages. One of my love languages is quality time. And also talking, we talk.
Yeah.
So at that point, if you're not talking to me, I actually fed so much thoughts in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, if he's not talking to me, he's definitely talking to somebody else.
Yes.
He's definitely entertaining the person that he posted the photo that they went for coffee with, and he didn't even tell me about it.
Right.
So I can say it wasn't all bed of roses.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I would say that was the time that our relationship was very shaky.
Really?
Yes. And then number two, friends. Now you see, there's a quote I saw somewhere that your friends, your lady friends, are the board of directors to your wife.
Which is actually very true.
Which is actually very true.
Yes, it is.
Because
I
I used to listen to every other friend of mine. Ananiambia hashiki simu yako, pe usishike simu yake. Afanye hivi, usifanye hivi. You know.
Amepost picha, atawepost.
Atawepost. Ameenda out, pia waenda.
Kevo, ama Jonte, ama Brayo.
Yeah, so at that point in life, there's social pressure. And then there's also now the emotional bits of someone whereby you have actually fed so much in your mind. Right. So you're like, then if at this point, there's nothing that we're going to do. We're not even together. We're not even talking. He doesn't even care. Even if he's sending me 1,000, that is not even, at that point, you see, for me, money was nothing. Yeah. So even if you send me the 1,000, yes, itakaa tu hapo. So for me, I didn't see it as an achievement. Right. So I can say it was a bit rocky. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Grace, that rock, that distance. And you know, people have actually mentioned it a couple of times on this particular set. And a lot of relationships die at that particular time.
Right.
Does it mean that, assuming they had broken up, does it mean that these people were not destined for greatness? Does it mean that they were not in love with each other? Because clearly things kind of changed when he came to Nairobi.
And like I said, conflict is a way of the relationship requiring a deeper level of concern and care and more attention to it. So like you said, there is no way you're going to have a deep relationship with somebody if you don't communicate. And that communication will take several you know, shapes. It can be texting, it can be talking on the phone, it can be seeing each other face to face. So there was a transition that happened to your relationship. So, and I'm thinking, were you in campus in Nakuru?
Yes,
Okay,
I was still
so
in campus.
you see, you were in campus together, so there
Yes.
was, the communication was easier because
Yes.
of
We used to see each other
proximity.
every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can meet, we can talk, and
Oh,
so
yes.
I have the full attention of you. So I can see you, I can touch you, and it's nice. But then we change. You go to Nairobi, and it's a good thing. It's a good transition. You're going
Yeah.
to work. Now, do we ever sit down and say, now that the relationship is transitioning,
Right.
we need to transition how we transact? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many couples do that?
None at all.
Not many.
We don't.
many.
Yeah.
We naturally expect that we are going to go with the flow,
Yes.
but then we don't realize that there will be a loss that is going to happen. Because now I can't see you every day. I'll miss you. There will be the emotional, now the distance, the emotional distance. How do we deal with that? And I think that is something that couples need to realize. It doesn't have to be hard, you know, like hard lines
Yeah.
about we have to talk we have to talk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Let's be flexible.
Yeah, we be flexible. We allow ourselves to let the relationship guide us. So if I miss you, now we girls, we know what we say. Usimpigie. You know, it's the man who's supposed to
Kwanza
call you.
nyinyi.
You know, it's the man who's supposed
Kamati
to
ya
call you.
rocha.
You know, and I learned. I used to. I'm kind of the kind of person who really thinks if I want something, I go for it.
Yeah.
And I used to get frustrated when I would hear that that if I want, that I have to wait for the guy to call me. And I'm like, well, I'm the one who's missing him.
Yeah. So call him.
So let me call him. But there is also those voices are there that tell you, sasa umemcall. He's never going to call you. And so now, him not calling me then means that he is not interested in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we want to talk about that. I want to
Yeah.
be able to tell my guy who we are long distance, I miss you. I wish we could talk at least 2 or 3 times a day.
Right.
Even if it's a text, just let me know. Because when you do that, it helps me to hear that you are thinking about me, that I'm valuable to you.
Yeah.
Now that we are we are away from each other.
Yeah.
Now the thing of now looking at the people
The other
who are
girls.
on the ground with you,
Go
that's
ground.
normal. There is nothing wrong with that. What you want to make sure that you go through the process of asking yourself, is this just something
Yeah.
or is it something?
Something.
You know,
Yes.
what is this? Am I
Exactly.
going through a moment of clarifying my relationship with my long-term girlfriend, or is it really that I am finding that she is not enough?
Okay.
Yeah.
So clear it so that you say to yourself that, like you did, to be
Yes.
able to say to yourself, no, this is just the moment because of the way things
Yeah.
are.
Oh, yes.
And so if I am beginning to feel I'm missing my girlfriend and that's why I'm following these ladies, I need to make an effort to make sure that I
You
take care
Take
of that
care of her,
problem.
yes.
Okay.
So that now the missing my girlfriend doesn't turn into she's not here.
Might
there is
as
no
well
need.
have fun.
Let me go with the person who's here.
The closest.
So where
Out of
is that
sight, out
coming
of
from?
mind.
It comes from a resentment of the fact that she's not here, even though it's not her fault.
Exactly.
But somehow our brains or our emotional health tends to blame.
Okay.
And when we go into that blaming mode, then it becomes a problem because even now, the good feeling of communicating with each other is no longer there.
Okay. Anthony.
Yes.
Now you've been married for a year, and I am sure things are amazing.
Uh-huh.
You said in the beginning of the show that you found love.
I did.
Define this love for us, so that someone who's out there asking or rather saying, and we know all people out there say, marriage, yeah, it's a pain in the behind. Bibi yako ni stress, or rather bibi yangu ni stress. Unajua, watoto sijui mimi hata hiyo nyumba sitaki kwenda. Let them know that this, when you define your love, this is how you define it.
How I would define our love, especially right now at the moment, is a matter of putting in the work, putting in the compromise, and having to live with your best friend.
Yeah.
It is as simple as that for me, because there are things, she came from home, and I was living alone by then.
Yeah.
Having to adjust to how she has been brought up and how I want my things done,
Yeah.
we had to cut a compromise
Yeah.
on, you know what, this is how she does it. I will actually try and learn what she's doing. Maybe it's a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
So the compromise, if you don't compromise, there is no love, to be very honest.
Right.
And then the having your best friend. Anything happens in my life, the first person I want to tell, it's her.
Yeah.
I actually find the really nice comfort of, babe, it's like this and this.
Yeah.
And that is how I would define our love.
Okay.
And by the fact that, come what may, we know whatever the situation, we are doing a long-term thing.
Yes.
Before we got married, we went through a course of premarital counseling.
In church?
Yes, in
Okay.
church.
Okay.
And one of the things that we came out with, we told ourselves, you know what, our relationship will not be the stereotype of, oh, when you get kids, things become boring. Oh, when you get married after 1 year, you will start resenting this person.
Yeah.
Oh, after 6 months, you will no longer go out. You will want to go out with your boys every other Sunday. You don't want to see your wife. No. We said ours, we're doing long term. So even when we fight in the house, we know whatever you say, please make sure what you say won't hurt me, because at the end of the day, we are going to sit here together for the next 50 plus years. So, and that is how I would put our love as at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mweni, I would ask the same thing. I'm sure he has more or less said it all, but
Yeah.
from your perspective, for another lady who's sitting there thinking, Aki Anthony is so lucky. Or rather, Ati Mweni is so lucky, tell us. But another chick can say that, you know, Anthony is lucky as well.
Well, I think for me, I normally go for, I work on myself and I pray for him. Like he mentioned, there's that premarital counseling that we went for. And you could see from that course, us ladies think the same.
Right.
Whatever I'm going through at the moment, another lady is going through the same thing.
Yeah.
But if you choose to actually sit in that cocoon and worry that I am actually going through this alone, I'm not going to actually talk to him.
Yeah.
I like what she said. She mentioned that if she wants something, she'll actually take the phone and write the message or call the person and say, I miss you. Pia wanaume nataka kumisiwa. Well, of course, if we are actually in this together, we will do this together.
Okay.
So for me, I actually work on myself and I pray for him.
All right.
And number two, there's now the compromise. Of course, there's a way he was brought up with the parents that doesn't sit well with how I was actually brought up by my parents. But you see, at the end of the day, this is us. This is not our parents. This is not our friends or family. This is actually us against the whole world.
Yeah.
Yes. And then another thing is about arguments. Yeah. I'm sorry, me I can talk.
No, it's okay.
When he talks about the arguments, yeah, for me I actually take them as a disagreement. Because you see, from that argument, you actually learn something from that. You take out something, you pick out something from there. He doesn't like this, so next time I won't do this. Next time I will actually incorporate this to actually make this thing work for the better.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, you have been absolutely amazing.
Thank
Na tunaombea, of course, we want 10 years again. We come and talk about tips on how to maintain love. Grace Kariuki, as always, a pleasure. Asante na sana. That's where we come to a close of the whole situation of the whole relationship Thursday. On behalf of Shiko Kaitani and of course Jeff Mote, we do say kwaheri until tomorrow. Usiende mbali na sisi, kwaheri.